What's up, guys? Bang, bang. It's lunch money time. Well, while she's trying to get rich, Russ is just trying to get her lunch money right. I am sitting in my little brother's old room. Polina's here, and I'm holding the computer in my hand.
This episode is going to give you
That's
vertigo.
Fine. That's fine. Ooh. She's getting mad at me. That's fine. Don't forget that BlockFi is now the sponsor of Lunch Money. What that means is that you need to go get a BlockFi account. Go to blockfi.com/pomp. Go to blockfi.com/pomp. You can earn up to 8.6% APY in an interest-bearing account. Go get one. All right, what's up?
I don't even know what's going on.
I'm trying to get us that you're in here, but there's a plant. That little stupid-ass plant.
You can't hear me probably, but we're just going to go. President-elect Joe Biden has chosen former Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen as Treasury Secretary, a historic decision that could make her the first woman to lead the department, according to people familiar with the matter. Yellen, who is 74, is widely seen as politically safe pick for the role, likely to garner support from Senate Republicans, as someone capable of pursuing bipartisan compromise.
In case anyone wanted to know before I address this issue, you see that baseball player right there?
That's Spider-Man.
I put that right there, right in between our heads.
Okay,
perfect.
Come on.
So Janet Yellen, she likes inflation. She's an inflationist. She's going to literally go after unemployment. We got high levels of unemployment. Janet Yellen is famous for wanting to use monetary policy to drive down unemployment, which means that she's going to drive up inflation. Very good for stocks, very good for Bitcoin, very good for gold, real estate, etc. Janet Yellen is coming in, and she is going to extend all of the current policies, and she is going to pump investors' bags.
Why am I coming out of the frame now?
Because I'm going like this. I'm literally holding the computer. This is great.
This
is like a VR type situation.
Ratchet,
Next,
is what it is.
It's gonna be a 10-minute episode. Don't worry. Just stick with us till the 10-minute point. Come on. I had a lot of coffee this morning. Bitcoin's at over $19,000. What up?
Can we get through the topics?
Yeah, come on, Elon Musk.
Dominate the conversation. Tesla co-founder Elon Musk is now the world's second richest person after he leapfrogged Microsoft billionaire Bill Gates.
I'm in trouble.
The 49-year-old entrepreneur, who's also the co-founder of SpaceX, saw his net worth rise by $7.2 billion. Oh my God, to $128 billion on Monday.
Bang bang! Second richest man in the world. Don't bet against innovators. Bill Gates. See you in the rearview mirror. Don't get caught in the exhaust.
Do you want to talk about Bitcoin real quick?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, talk about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin's over $19,000. I ain't gonna say I told y'all so, but I told y'all so.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say. Go ahead.
A 3D printed rocket startup called Relativity Space has closed $500 million in Series D funding. The funding was led by Tiger Global Management and Fidelity Management, Bailey Gifford, Iconic Capital, General Catalyst, and more participated in the round.
This is a really, really cool company. They basically, they launched the first ever fully 3D printed orbital rockets next year.
They are launching it.
Yeah. And so what they basically do is they create 3D rockets. It's 3D printed. It's the second most valuable space company behind SpaceX in the private markets. Chamath Palihapitiya and Social Capital, I think, led the Series A. I know the folks at Tribe Capital, they've invested a bunch of money. Pretty much Relativity Space. It's cool. 3D print the rockets. Elon made them reusable, shoot them up, come back, land on a drone ship. These guys are 3D printing them. Let's get to space. There's 300 million planets we got to go investigate. I feel like we're in a planet. That's all right. The people appreciate my commitment to always doing this regardless of where we are. The reason why we're doing this, by the way, is because all of my brothers and their girlfriends and wives and stuff are all here, and everyone's got a different room. And we were all at the kitchen table, and I was like, I can't record it here. So now I'm upstairs in a little bedroom like a little 12-year-old.
Sports tech company Hyperice landed its final major partnership of 2020, striking a deal with the NFL. The company says the agreement will help it reach a $1 billion valuation next year.
My brother wrote about this today. Go to readhuddleup.com and you can get a whole breakdown. I don't know how he writes so much. I'd love fire off a couple of emails every morning, but this dude writes like books every morning. He broke down the whole deal. He talks about all the economics. He thinks it's going to be a multi-billion-dollar company. I was super impressed by their partnerships. Like, one of the cool things about this is they did a partnership with the NBA, and now you're going to have a Hyperice like recovery kind of massage tool underneath the seat at every NBA bench. So literally the player just reaches underneath their seat and they can grab this tool and then they can basically help them recover during the game.
So you want to hear about this cool story?
Yes.
In Cleveland, Ohio, a customer left a $3,000 tip for a single beer at a restaurant voluntarily closing because of the COVID pandemic. The man walked into Nighttown on Sunday in Cleveland, ordered the beer, and asked for the check, which came to $7.02. The owner of the restaurant said the man wished him well and told him to share the tip with the 4 employees who are working brunch service. As the man walked out, Ring said he looked down at the tip and realized he left a whopping $3,000.
Listen, this is cool. Shout out to the guy leaving the $3,000 tip. But can we talk about in Cleveland they have $7 beers? What is going on in Cleveland?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like New York prices in Cleveland. Cleveland, what's going on? Get your stuff together. But I do like the fact that somebody left that tip. That's awesome. Go do nice things for people during the holidays. Next.
Will Robbins asks, another great show you guys just don't miss. Oh, just wait till you see this one. Question for Pomp. What was the motivation behind doing Capital University with Bryce Hall? And what lessons do you think people in the tech community can learn from him and other TikTok stars?
I like Bryce. Bryce is smart.
Bryce is nice.
And also Bryce and Griffin Johnson, Josh Richards, all these guys. They're all really cool dudes. They're young. They basically have worked hard. They built a following. And just like, kind of professional athletes go from making no money to all of a sudden now they're making money, 70% of athletes go broke. And so if you think of a lot of these creators who now are making a lot of money, most of them are going to go broke. They just don't know how to manage money. And so in conversation, it became very clear that there was an opportunity for Bryce and I to have a podcast where we talked about how he manages his money, how other influencers manage their money, what they should be doing, not doing, avoiding any pitfalls, but then also bringing in successful entrepreneurs and investors to talk to Bryce and mentor him. So like we had David Rubenstein, the co-founder of Carlyle Group on the podcast, and Mark Cuban, right? We've recorded with Barbara Corcoran, a whole host of different people. And so I think that the whole idea here is these TikTok kids, they want to be more than TikTok stars, right? They want to be entrepreneurs. They want to be investors. And I think that they've got a really good shot at doing it if they kind of keep their heads on straight and work hard. And the beauty of it is they have an entire generation paying attention to them. So if all of a sudden they start talking about business and investing, there's an entire generation of kids that are going to think that stuff's cool. And so it's a way that we can drive financial education and drive kind of interest in entrepreneurship is you use the people that an entire generation of kids look up to. And it just so happens that those kids are really interested in this stuff too. So, this is a huge, I think, kind of kudos to Josh, Griffin, Bryce, and a bunch of the other friends that they have, because they're the ones really driving this stuff, and that's the important part.
All right.
Don't be tapping my shoulder telling me when I'm ready to stop talking.
You don't have a shoulder. I did not tap you on the shoulder. Okay. Ritwick. Question to Pimp. What's the biggest habit you've changed / introduced to your life since quarantine life started in April? So I used to occasionally exercise when, there was no quarantine, but during quarantine, you kind of have to because otherwise you just don't move and it's really sad and you can't sleep later. So it's been a consistent daily exercise habit of whether it's bar or yoga or running or something like that. Or the Sweat app. Ooh, that's a good one. So yeah, that's a great habit I've introduced. And then he asks, question to Pomp, would you ever invest in a psychedelics company ever?
Yes. Cool. I actually think I should go on a psychedelic trip, like go somewhere and go try a bunch of psychedelics and just test it out.
Celeste. Absolutely love your content, energy, and comedy, guys. Quick question. My friend inherited this GE stock from her dad and asked me for advice whether to keep it or sell it because it continues to drop. I told her I'd ask you guys. Any thoughts?
I have no clue. I literally have no clue. I don't pay attention to stocks. General Electric, I don't know what they're doing.
Explain why you don't pay attention to stocks and why you invest in the private market. I
have no advantage. All of my investing advantage is in the private markets. And so that's what I choose to double and triple down on. We can't have the Ask Lunch Money segment be, what do you think about this individual stock? We don't give investment advice. But what I would say is if that's the only investable asset that your friend has, so they only own General Electric stock, you probably should diversify. And if you think of diversification and concentration builds wealth, diversification protects it, but also diversification is a great tool for people who don't spend all day long doing this stuff, right? The only reason why you would have concentration is if you have some kind of thesis as to what advantage you have over the marketplace. If you're just given a bunch of General Electric stock and that's the only stock you own, you probably should diversify so that you can kind of get a broader market exposure. And also, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Just think about like putting it all in the S&P, right? It just depends on like, there's so much information there. What are your other assets? What's your goals? How old are you? What's your income? What's your savings? All that stuff plays into this. But I generally think that if that's the only asset somebody holds, like probably not a good idea just to hold on to a single stock, especially if it's a large percentage of your net worth.
Cool.
Good. I've been waiting to want to do this the entire time, so I'm going to do it now before Polina gets mad and we say goodbye to you guys. I just wanted to say, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bang, bang. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Lunch Money as much as we did.
And don't forget, Lunch Money is now sponsored by BlockFi, so go check them out. There's a link in the description that you can click on. I'm an investor, a user, and a huge fan. What?
You're a bigger fan of BlockFi than you are of me?
BlockFi is my second favorite thing in the world behind Polina. They've got 3 products. They can give you a US dollar loan. You can earn up to 8.6% interest on an interest-bearing account, or you can buy and sell cryptocurrencies on their crypto exchange. I personally use the interest-bearing account. There's not very many places where you'll find up to 8.6% interest on a deposit in an interest-bearing account. Go do your own research. There's risk associated, but 8.6% is pretty compelling. So click on the link in the description. Say thanks to the folks at BlockFi. Subscribe to our channel. Like the video. Annoy Polina in the comments. And we'll see you guys tomorrow.
And be kind to your friends.